In this lecture and in the following, we'll try to understand the lexical relations and would like to explain various aspects of these lexical relations. First of all, I would like to explain to you what lexical relations are. Lexical relations belong to a field of semantics. We roughly call it lexical semantics, and this branch of semantics deal with the meanings of the words. So, and these meanings are usually found in the relationships among or between words. Lexical relations are the relationships of the meaning of the words to other words. So words are closely connected with each other, sometimes in a relation of similarity, sometimes in a relation of opposition, and sometimes in many other relationships. And a word may be in relationship or in connection with other words in multiple ways simultaneously. So we need to understand these lexical relations in order to find various connections between words and therefore their meanings in relation to each other. Lexical relations are central to the way speakers and hearers construct meaning. If we just go further, you will try to analyze that how we construct meaning with the help of these lexical relations. And the lexical relation is used to indicate any paradigmatic relation between words. So how a word can replace another word in a language and can make us understand the concept behind it. This is how we understand meanings through lexical relations. It is not just a semantic relation. It is also based on some kind of phonetic relation and also morphological and syntactic relations, because meanings in language are constructed by combining all these levels of language. So assuming that meaning of the words are constructed only by the final form of words may not be correct. We have to look the language at all levels, and by doing that we can know the meanings of the words and compare their meanings with each other. Let's try to see what are the aims of lexical semantics. Lexical semantics look at the meanings of individual words and also the relationship of those meanings with the meanings of other words. So it has twofold objective, and both objectives are interrelated, because you cannot find the meaning of a word unless you look at its relationship with other words, because as we have already discussed in previous lectures, that meaning of a word may partly be defined by its relationship with other words in the language. So therefore, while knowing the meaning of a word, it becomes automatically necessary to know its relationship with other words. And this is what we find in dictionaries. For example, when I say, I saw my mother just now, you would automatically understand that I saw a woman, because mother includes in itself the meanings of woman. So when I say I saw my mother today, you cannot assume that it should be a male. It should always be a female, a woman, and only a woman can be a mother. So the meanings of the words are embedded in other words, and that is where we understand their real meanings. There are different types of relationship that can exist between words, and they may be based on their differences, similarities, part-whole relationship, and many other kind of relationships. As the relationship exists between human societies, so does the relationship exist between words also. These relationships examine the network like structure between words, and that is important to be understood as a student of semantics. A particular lexeme or word can have a number of relationships with other words, as I have already explained this to you, and we need to know all of these relationships in order to understand its proper meanings or its multiple meanings. And one way to know these meanings may be knowing its lexical field. Lexical field may be seen as a category in which that word falls. And every lexical field has a particular jargon, or has a particular collection of words which fall within its domain. And based on that semantic field or lexical field, we could relate to the meanings of all words falling in that category. For example, we have the words belonging to a certain area of activity, for example, sports. And within sports, we have the terms which are closely related to football or cricket or hockey, or some specialist knowledge. For example, the terms used in politics may be different from the terms used in mathematics. So there could be various areas or fields of vocabulary or lexical fields in which a certain group of words fall together. Such as the terms used in cooking, in sailing, or the words used by doctors, mountain climbers, tourists, they may be different. And finding the difference as well as the connection similarities within these domains may be an important area of investigation in lexical semantics. Dictionaries recognizes these similarities and differences and also these lexical fields, and by doing so, they enable us to understand the meanings of various words. We have some examples here in front of you. You can see the meanings of word red, the color resembling blood, or a ruby. So, in order to understand the meaning of red, we have to understand the meaning of, or the concept of, blood. So, how we do it? We understand the meaning of one word by understanding the meaning of other word and by making a connection between them. Similarly, if you look at the meaning of word blood, it's the red liquid that circulates in the heart, arteries and veins of animals and humans. So you can see that in order to understand the meaning of blood, we have to understand the meaning of red. And again, to find a connection between them. So, understanding the meaning of one word may lead us to understand the meaning of other words, and sometimes it may become circular. But this is how we understand the connection between words and therefore the meanings, and how one word supports the meaning of the other word. What can we learn from dictionary primarily? It is the relationship between words and therefore the meanings of various words. The relationship, for example, of opposition, similarities, hierarchies, etc. All these relationships, even existing in dictionaries, they help us in understanding the meanings of words existing in a language.